were game-changing, but only really for the players who decided to grind for them. So in this video I will rank every ability from worst to best. These will be ranked based on cost efficiency and how useful they are. And without any further ado, let's get into it. This is just straight up a waste. Giving 2 energy to your team is almost never useful, especially for costing 10 energy. When I play with randoms, all the other people have is speed, which most of them don't even use. So this ability is extremely situational. The only time it is barely helpful is if you play with friends, where you can coordinate getting energy, but only getting 2 energy barely helps. And to add to it, you don't even get the energy yourself, so never use this. Let's hope the next one's better. Wow. This is also worthless. Team Magnifying Glass is 1 cheaper than Team Energy Boost, and it's still a waste. You make it so that every player on the map except you see where the items are. This doesn't work well since most of the Piggy player base are noobs who don't even know what an ability is, so this will just confuse them. Also, I don't think the Magnifying Glass is that great, but I'll explain that later. The Magnifying Glass only costs 4 energy normally, so it's better to just use that for yourself instead of this. Terrible. Flare is basically a trap for the player, and it's very bad. The flare makes the Piggy screen a bit darker. This ability is only helpful when the Piggy is a player because the flare doesn't affect the bot. Bot is my preferred game mode, so I never bring this ability because it is worthless to me. Also, flare blurs your vision less the further away you are from the flare, making it even easier to avoid. This can be helpful in some situations if you're playing player are infected, but still, an ability I never want to use again. Radar is a fairly situational ability. It shows you where infected are when you step on the radar. It can be helpful in some situations, like when you play in very enclosed maps, but if you listen to what I said, the infected only gets revealed when they step on the radar. So if you play on player, this will often not show much use. You can use this pretty well on bots, where you can put it in the common areas where the bot patrols, but I don't really find much use of this thing outside of that, so it's not that great. Magnifying Glass reveals where items are that you can get to and ones that aren't accessible yet. Sounds very helpful, because it is. First of all, when using it, you can still see the items you've already used. So that makes it sort of confusing when finding missing items. But one thing I can say is helpful about the ability is when learning new item placements and new maps. When something is completely new, it's hard to know where to go and where the items are, so this ability is helpful with that. Also, this thing only costing 4 energy being the cheapest ability in the game makes it even better. So I think this is a good ability, but it's still not one I'd use. So now, the top 3 are the 3 abilities I always have in my loadout at all times. Decoy is a pretty expensive ability, but it's fairly worth it, especially when you're up against the bot. Using it on the bot will make it so that they will be instantly distracted and kill the decoy. And using this in book 2, the bot can't kill your decoy, so they will be distracted for a long while. Also, the decoy lasts 15 seconds, which is great. The use of this ability sort of goes down when it comes to using it against player piggies. When you spawn the decoy, they often see it and don't care about it. I usually use the decoy if the piggies are blocking my path or are camping because they are distracted when killing the decoy, so I can still get a ton of use out of this one. It is always in my loadout and I think it's great. Sprint is the first ability you unlock, and it's a good one at that. Sprint lets you sprint for 3 seconds, which is extremely helpful. Also, it only costs 6 energy, which isn't too expensive and not too cheap, so that's OP. It's very helpful when you're in a pickle while running away from the piggy, and you go very fast so you can get pretty far with only the 3 seconds. I don't have that much criticism with this thing. It's well balanced and is a helpful asset, but there's one I prefer even more. Camouflage is a very debated ranking as number 1, but this is just my opinion. Camouflage is an amazing ability that camouflages you for 8 seconds. When you move, you will become transparent, but when you stand still, you will be completely invisible. The camouflage costs 7 energy, which is a lot, but I still think it's worth it. Like I said, I always play on bot and Piggy because it's my preferred game mode, and when using the camouflage, the bot will stop bothering you even when you're not moving. I think this makes this ability great, and also the fact that it lasts 8 seconds makes it even better. This is my favorite ability, and I love it. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a really fun video to make, and I would just like to say that I love the abilities. Also, if any new abilities get added, I will not update this video, but one thing I will do is that in the end screen, there will be an unlisted video where I rank the new ability if there is one out right now. So if there is a new ability out and you want to know where it's in the list, check out the end screen. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!